Many thanks for your company. In our first story, the father of a 4-year-old girl who was allegedly defiled in her school at Nungua says the incident has left the family shattered. According to him, the little girl was in her school at Nungua when a 30-year-old man lured her into an empty classroom and inserted his fingers into her genitalia. He says police in Nungua are yet to arrest the suspect in the incident, which happened last week, Monday. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba has been speaking to the father of the victim and has come through with this report.
A very pretty girl, you can see, and this is what happened to her. A very promising girl, very intelligent. And
voice of the father of the 4-year-old girl who was defiled. I've met him at his Nungua residence. He holds up a picture of the girl who is a twin. A photo, he says, was taken when the family visited the Rectory Park in Kumasi sometime last year. The little girl is seen very happy in the photo. His father believes the incident has robbed her little girl of her innocence and scarred her for life.
This miscreant will just take her life away just like that. Take her innocence away just like that. So we are hoping that we'll be able to bring her back. We'll be able to forget this incident and get on as a family.
He has been narrating to me what happened last week Monday when his 4-year-old girl went to school.
Well, last week Monday, December 18th, my twin daughters as usual went to school. Now we have a young student in GSS1 who is a family friend, and she acts like a big sister, or let me say a guardian over the two little girls. In the afternoon, while school was in session, he saw a strange man with my two little daughters walking away. She ran down from her classroom, went down and told the two little girls to go back to their class, which they did. She then went back to her class to continue her studies. Then after a few minutes, it dawned on her that she should go down again to KG1 and find out if the little girls were in their class. When she ran down, she only saw one of them. She asked the one she saw, "Where's your other sister?" And then my daughter said her sister had gone upstairs. So she ran upstairs again. And then whilst going through the classroom, she heard her crying in one of the classrooms. When she attempted to open, it was locked. So she started banging on the door for a while. And when it was open, it was this same strange man that she had seen earlier on with my two little girls. There, she only spanked the girl and asked her, "Why are you here when class is in session?" Then she dragged her. The girl is only 4 years, 5 months, not even up to 4.5 years, just barely learning how to talk and express herself. So she dragged her back to the class. She didn't report anything to the authorities. She only came home after school and reported what had happened to my wife. And then when she reported what had happened to my wife on that same Monday, my wife tried to touch the little girl there in her private part. Anytime she touched it, the girl started crying. Anytime she tried to touch her private part, the girl started crying. Then she decided to undress her and see what is going on. And there around her clitoris, she saw that the whole place had turned reddish, bloodish. That's when she called the school headmaster to tell him that something had happened in the school that day. And that's when she also informed me that, look at something happened. And that's from there, we arranged.
He says the family is constantly reminded of the ordeal as his daughter won't stop talking about it.
She keeps telling me, she keeps pointing, and that somebody, anytime she sees me, she'll say, "Daddy, somebody put my hand," she'll tell me. Yeah, so another thing was that we should try and get that incident out of her mind. So as much as possible, we don't ask her. But once in a while, she'll tell me, that "Daddy, somebody put the hand," and then she'll tell me. Traumatized. Our Christmas wasn't merry. There was nothing merry in our Christmas. You understand what I'm saying? Your little babies, just less than 4.5 years old, and a 30-year-old man can do this to that little girl, and he's still walking out there, a free man. My strongest conviction is that that's not the first time that he has done this. I have the strong belief that he's been doing that in the school. And if it's not picked and locked, I know that he's going to keep on doing that thing. I love my children. I've given them the best that I can. They are gorgeous girls. You see them, you will love them. You go out with them, everybody wants to touch them. They just love them. And for such children to be treated this way by an adult, and he's still walking out there, and what I see is that the uncle and the bishop are just playing delay tactics for this whole thing to lose momentum and die. of. That's the feeling I have now. That's the feeling we have now, and it shouldn't be so, because if it's left unpunished, he's going to do it some more to some other little girls. And my mission now is to make sure that the guy is picked and put behind bars. That he doesn't do that to another little girl anyway. Defiled her, touched her in the private parts, you know. When we got to the hospital, we realized that she had inflammations around her clitoris, a lot of blood clotting all over the place.
Police in Nungua are yet to arrest the suspect since the incident happened on December 18. Father of the victim alleges that the uncle of the suspect promised to personally take the boy to the police, but that has not happened as the suspect is still at large. For Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
Meanwhile, NGO Child Rights International has condemned the act, urging swift action by security authorities. Bright Apia is executive director.
You do not have respect for children. Somebody sleeping with a 4-year girl. In their mind, if they lack any other alternative in doing whatever they feel that biologically they have to do, they resort to children because they feel that they are the easiest people that they can approach to do that. It also shows that institutions that have been mandated to respond to some of these things are not giving us the kind of result that we expect. The environment is so loose.
These institutions you are talking about, they exist. We haven't seen the result, as you talked about. What else should they be doing? And it continues. This year, we have recorded defilement cases from almost every region. Since you are in the institution of protecting the children, we want to hear something that you actually want them to do, apart from urging them to do their work.
One of the things that we will be doing is to compel institutions to respond quickly to the needs of children, if it's within the legal context. And these are things that, as you mentioned, we are not seeing them doing. We are considering a lot of cases going to court for court to give certain ruling in respect to how these institutions will act. And once that happens, you would realize that the whole system will respond to it, because the decision of the court is binding on any institution and all that.
Still on issues of sexual assaults, the chief of Bantama in Kumasi, Bafo Owusu Amankwetia VI, is calling for severe punishment for 7 teenagers who allegedly gang raped a young girl in the area. He joins in condemning the act and advocates harsh sanctions to deter others from perpetrating such crimes. He tells my colleague Ohiming Teria exclusively that he expects no form of intervention or intercession for the suspects.
Widespread public condemnation has greeted a widely circulated video in which 7 boys are seen sexually abusing the girl. 4 of them have since been picked up and arraigned before the Asokwa District Court, while police pursue the remaining 3 who are still on the run. Bafo Owusu Amankwetia VI says he expects no form of intervention or intercession whatsoever for the suspects.
It's very, very sad for such a thing to happen, and more so for it to be taking place in my traditional area. Seriously, when I heard about it, I really didn't believe it. But then I did some investigation and I found out that the story was true. It's so sad. But I think that it all boils down to, parental care, the level that is reached. I think parental care during these times is going down. And that is what is responsible for whatever is happening. The most important thing to talk about on this issue is deterrent. Now, you must be able to do something that will prevent this thing, happening again. For me personally, I believe that when you go to other areas, these things have been happening, but it's just that they have not been caught. Now, for deterrence purposes, I believe that the law must be made to apply. Let's let everybody in Ghana know that what the children did is bad for Ghana, is bad for the moral fabric of our society, and it's bad for everything. So let's give it a punishment that somebody will look at and say, this thing, if I, do something like this, I'll be in trouble. I mean, that is the only way. But if we say they are children or, because of that we're going to relax the punishment, I think it's not going to help. For this one, let's do something that will deter our children from, practicing this vice again.
Some residents of Bantama, including the assembly member for the area, blame growing indecency among the youth in Bantama on entertainment. They question the community's hosting of programs such as street jams. Bafo Zamankwetia, however, cites breakdown in the moral fabric and values of society, propelled by a lack of proper parental care, as causes of youth misconduct.
The value system of the country has gone down. Now, what we give value to is changed. Previously, when we were young, when we were going to school, when you can't even go to your father. When you see your father, it's like you've seen God. When you see your mother, it's like you've seen somebody who, embodies whatever you are. But these days, it's not like that. These days, look at the way, our young men, the way they talk to their elders. Look at the sort of, clothing they put on. Whatever is happening now is very, very different. And I believe that that is what has, led to whatever is happening in this country now. I believe that parents, if we really want to forestall this situation, I think that parents, they have a big role to play. Parents must take responsibility for whatever their children do.
From Kumasi, for Joy News, I'm Interior reporting.
Well, the latest with this is that 4 of the suspects in the alleged gang rape appeared before court today, and they've been remanded into police custody. We'll bring you details of this in subsequent bulletins. Away from that, residents of Benally, a farming community in the Savelugu-Nanton municipality, are appealing for the provision of potable water. They say if that is done, it will prevent them from walking long distances in search of clean and safe water. In the absence of a mechanized borehole and pipe-borne water, residents of Benally are compelled to drink from contaminated sources, something they say makes them sick. Hashmin Mohammed has more in the following report.
It is early morning here in Benally, a farming community in the Savelugu-Nanton municipality of the northern region. Scores of women are already up carrying their receptacles to begin their daily routine of walking far distance in search of water. After about an hour walk, they finally find water at a storm drain constructed to link a road from Savelugu to the neighboring district of Kumbugu. Clean water in this community is a rare commodity, and the people are left with no option than to drink from this contaminated source covered with shrubs. After filling their receptacles, it is time to embark on another 1-hour journey home. Drink the water, they improvise by tying a material round their pot to remove the particles, but the germs are too small to be sieved out. These women say, though they are aware of the health implications of drinking from this source, they have no options.
We don't have water. This water is not good. Cattle and donkeys also drink from here. When we drink this water, we fall sick. But we have no choice, so we want you to...
Their husbands are also equally worried about the source of drinking water.
Water, we have water, but it's not clean. There is diseases in the water, and we animals and we human beings and animals, we always drink once damp. So we drink fishes, and people are washing inside our water. So we don't have good water, and where the water it is to is far from the community.
According to the World Health Organization, waterborne diseases are the world's second leading causes of death. Ghana loses 20,000 lives every year due to the consumption of unsafe drinking water. Unfortunately for the residents of Benally, they do not have clinic and a proper health post to deal with the outbreak of any waterborne disease. For Joy News, Hashmin Mohammed report from Benally.
Now, District Chief Executive for Defiled Girl has expressed worry over the performance of students in this year's Basic Education Certificate Examination (BECE). He stated that although the results of the 2017 examination saw a marginal improvement from that of 2016, it's still not the best. Nadi Imoro-Sanda made the statement at the second ordinary meeting of the Assembly. Joy News' Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
Addressing the 20-member Defiled Girl District Assembly, District Chief Executive Nadi Imoro-Sanda noted that the district has been relatively peaceful and calm. Whilst applauded the people of the district for the relative peace in the area, he urged security agencies, assembly members and traditional rulers to continue to contribute their part to maintain the existing peace and stability across the district. Mr. Nadi Imoro-Sanda, however, was not happy about the performance of students at this year's Basic Education Certificate Examination, even though there have been marginal improvement as compared to last year.
It is sad to note that out of 486 candidates who sat for the 2017 BECE, only 209 passed, while 287 failed, representing 42% and 58% respectively. Again, our overall best aggregate has declined from 10 in 2016 to 15 in 2017. This is not good, especially for a district that has produced many great men and women. This calls for greater dedication, commitment, and support of all of us to stem the tide of this negative trend.
One major challenge facing the over 58,000 residents of the district is a lack of major health facility or district hospital for the area. In this regard, Mr. Nadi Imoro-Sanda said plans are far afoot to have a district hospital sited at Issa by the end of 2019. Construction work on a 76,000 Ghana cedis laboratory complex by the Assembly is already complete and handed over to the District Health Directorate to signal their intent.
I was in Accra from 22nd to 25th October 2017, during which I contacted a number of individuals and institutions from both the private and public sectors with copies of the proposals to solicit support. Thankfully, through this effort, one of the celebrated sons of the district has agreed to single-handedly finance the construction of the outpatient department, which is expected to cost about 200,000 Ghana cedis. Again, from the discussions and the contacts we have been making since my return, the MTN Foundation is likely to take up the construction of either the children's or female ward.
Upper West Regional Minister Alhaji Suleiman Al-Hassan spoke of plans by the government to tackle fallen standards of education.
We are going to target the child, we target the teacher, and finally also target the parents. So these three pillars, we are fastening out initiatives that we can all put together to improve upon education delivery in the region.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam, Issa.
You're watching Joy News Today with me, Bernice Abubaid. We'll be back with more stories. Please stay. Now, the Upper West Regional Manager of the National Road Safety Commission, Mohammed Abdul Samad, has identified inadequate number of staff, stationary vehicles and lack of towing vehicles to remove them on the roads as the cause of numerous road accidents recorded in the region. He made the revelations at an interaction with pressmen in Wa. Rafiq Salam has more.
Juxtaposing figures of road crashes of 2016 with that of 2017, Upper West Regional Manager of the National Road Safety Commission, Mohammed Abdul Samad, stated that there have been significant decrease in the numbers.
Last year, this time we had, or the whole of the year, we had a total number of crashes reported, that is reported cases, to be 159 in the Upper West region. This time round, then the accident cases reported are 131. That means there's a difference here. Yes, you can see that. Then the total number of vehicles involved. Last year they were 246. This time is 202. Then if you come to the total number of fatal cases, cases that involve at least a loss of life or more, then we recorded 48 of them. We're talking about the case that, you know, it could be a case, there's one person dying or more. So we say they were 48, and this time is 45. Then the total number of serious cases, cases that people are hospitalized for at least 24 or more hours. Yes, we recorded 72 of them. This time it has come down to 50. So our prayers is that, just like I said earlier, it shouldn't go beyond this.
Mr. Mohammed said the field talk was not without challenges.
First and foremost, we realized that wrongful parking and disabled vehicles on our roads without towing vehicles to remove them is one of our major challenges. And we have lack of staffing at NRAC regional offices. We don't actually have staff. Our number is so small. Then congestion due to increase in population of motor vehicles without a corresponding increase in the road network. So the roads that we know, we still maintain them. And for example, if we go to DVLA now and ask them, motor vehicles, not just talking about all the motorcycles alone, they registered over 7,400. Then excessive speeding is one of our main problems. And use of hard drugs by Kambu drivers or riders. Now, when we say use of hard, I know it's a strong one, but we see that our young guys who are using this tricycle, which are actually not permitted to even do commercial business, some of them, they take things we call like tramadol and the rest before they even use this, which is not the best. Then unwillingness of majority of motorcycle riders to wear crash helmets. Overloading, interference with law enforcement, use of mobile phone without whilst riding or driving, poorly maintained roads, and presence of many hazards on our roads.
He added that with few days left for the year to end, they are working around the clock to ensure that the region has an incident-free Yuletide. Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam. Wa.
Now, the hearing impaired in society are calling for social inclusion. In an interview with one of such persons in Zino in the Katamanso district, Kwame Amponsa laments the discrimination meted out to them by the hearing public, cast them to the background as if they don't matter in society. He adds, but for their communication challenge, they have the ability to do everything as human beings and should be accorded the needed respect and dignity, particularly with regards to job placement. He spoke through a sign language interpreter who is bridging the gap between the deaf and the hearing in his community.
Big challenge. This is how it happens. When the hearing sees a deaf person, for the meantime, maybe I don't know you are a deaf person. So when I get close to you and I know that you are a deaf, I feel like, hey, now we're in sway. You see, when a new customer comes even here, a new customer comes here, they are like, hey, then it's not really for a movie here. You see. So like the respect or the hearing is happy with the communication barrier. Still, they like to maintain it. But I would like everyone to come on board and know that we are all one. A deaf person, the only thing they can do is to hear what you are saying. But they can do whatever you want them to. And they can do whatever you can do. What I want the public and the deaf, that deaf people are always angry to work. That I want the government and the public to help deaf people to improve their life, because first, deaf lives are always difficult. I want the hearing, the public to also learn sign language, that here people can easily communicate with the deaf, so that if a deaf person applies for a work or a position, it can be easy. Why? Because many organizations find it difficult to communicate with the deaf. That's because we can't hear. But if organizations or every person knows sign language, communicating with the deaf will be more easy. It doesn't mean that because we are deaf, we are more ignorant. No, it's very wrong to ignore us. You can welcome most deafs to work in your community, and that we can be successful. No deaf in Ghana here has ever been successful. So I'm pleading to the government and other organizations to accept deafs in their workplaces.
Now, Joy News gets results because Life Care Technology Ghana Limited has presented pediatric equipment worth about 1 million Ghana cedis to the Presbyterian Hospital in Doma in the Bono-Ahafo region. This comes after our correspondent, Precious Semevo, reported babies are dying needlessly there due to the absence of equipment such as incubators and radiant warmers. Handing over the items to Joy News, the General Manager of Life Care Technology, Bishop Fuad, commended the Joy News team for highlighting the plight of the babies and promised to donate more items in future.
In 2015, Joy News reported the Presbyterian Hospital in Doma in the Bono-Ahafo region was recording fertility figures of premature babies at 19%. Today, the figures have dropped drastically to 7.3%, a situation hospital authorities say will improve further in the coming years. Handing over the items to the hospital, the General Manager of Life Care Technology, Bishop Faude, commended the Joy News team for highlighting the plight of the babies and promises to donate more items in the future.
On the 19th of April 2015, I heard over Joy News that Doma Presbyterian Hospital lost in this month 19 babies. So with the collaboration with our partners in Germany, we decided to donate 3 infant incubators, 3 patient monitors, 2 radiant warmers, 2 phototherapy, and 1 bilirubin, as well as 1 neonatal ventilator. Those equipment costs around 1 million Ghana cedi to save lives, as well as it's our part of our social responsibility towards Ghana and towards our customers here in the country. Before March 2018, we are going to donate extra 10 baby cots instead of those wooden baby cots, so that it will help the NICU to perform better. Our future plans toward those equipment that we have given the hospital 2 years warranty, and we are going to send engineers to maintain those equipment every 3 months to be sure that the equipment are working efficiently without any problems.
The head of the pediatric unit at the Doma Presbyterian Hospital, Dr. Adoma Dumofoko, explains how the breaking of the story has helped them.
A couple of years ago, we made an appeal through the media and we asked for incubators because a lot of our preterm babies were dying unnecessarily. And you came to our aid. You brought us a lot of equipment, ventilator, phototherapy, incubators, radiant warmers, billimeter, and so much equipment. So we've been able to reduce our prematurity-related deaths. As in last year, as in 2015, before that donation, we were doing about 19% of our babies were dying. But then this year, 7.3% of them, the preterm babies, are dying. So we realized that the deaths due to prematurity have been more than half. as a result of the equipment that you and then other donors gave to us through the media campaign that went.
The hospital is also extending its plea to other organizations to help.
Joy News does really get results, don't we? You're watching Joy News today on the Joy News channel on Multi-TV, DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, Darryl Kwa will be bringing us business news.